First works. That's the expression of your self-identity. So what you want to do is look for the opportunity to express the very best that you know what to do or how to do. How do you do that? Well, we do a lot of work in the areas of business and industry. And salespeople, by and large, have a habit of being discriminate on where they put their energy, to being discriminating on who they're going to spend their time with, how much energy they're going to put into someone. And what I advise people to do, as a matter of fact, what I tell them to look at, and it's essential that they do look at it, is this: that you don't look to be in business to get something from someone. Now that's contrary, perhaps, to what you've been conditioned to believe. You don't try to get a sale. Because when you try to get something, you're implying in your consciousness that you're needy. Now follow this very carefully. When you're coming from a place of need, that idea of consciousness perpetuates itself, and you're constantly experiencing situations which reflect need. The thing to do is to look for the opportunity to serve people the best way that you know how, regardless of whether they're going to buy or not. But we're talking about a principle. To the degree you are spending and expending yourself, to the degree that you are giving of yourself, to the degree that you are giving of yourself unconditionally, whether people buy or not, people will buy, and that will be automatic, but it will not be coming from a place of need. It will be coming from a place of abundance. If you're coming from a place of need, you'll create more need. Look for the opportunity to do the best that you can in every single situation, regardless of what the prospects are. It doesn't matter if I'm talking in front of 2 people or 2,000 people. I do the best that I can. It shouldn't matter whether someone's going to buy or not if you're in the sales field. Because if you're going to be discriminating, you're going to be fooled by the outwardly appearances. And that's happened to you time and time again. I had a situation where I was working with a realty office out at the marina, and true story, a gal has been into real estate probably 2 weeks, fresh out of real estate school. She came into an office. It was about 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and there were 20 people, other realtors, sitting at their desks in this office. And while they were sitting at the desk before this young girl came in, there was a guy who came in who looked like a derelict. He was all shabby and scrubby with a beard, had a dirty painter's cap on, and he was standing in the doorway like this, you know. And he was standing there for about 10 minutes, and people would look up from their desks and, you know, look back down again. No one approached this guy. This unsuspecting 18-year-old girl came in and said, "May I help you?" She didn't know any better. He listed 2 warehouses in the marina with her. She made a commission in excess of $42,000. The other people were being discriminating. Look for the opportunity to express yourself, regardless of whether people are going to buy or not, regardless of whether there's going to be a payoff or not. As a matter of fact, don't do it for the payoff. Do it because that reflects who you are. Do it because that's who you are. And I don't care what job you are in right now, if you're not doing the best that you can do, then you're doing yourself a disservice, forgetting the people that you're working for. You're selling yourself short because you're creating an idea of consciousness that is going to keep you stuck. If you're going to be discriminating about where you're going to do the best you can, you're going to be fooled. And those experiences will come back to you. They will come back to haunt you. Whenever you have the opportunity to express yourself, do it the best way you know how. When you make your bed in the morning, if you're going to bother making your bed in the morning, it's something as silly as making your bed. If you're going to bother making your bed in the morning, make your bed the best way you know how. If you're going to bother washing those dishes, you might as well wash them the best way you know how. I mean, why would you want to do anything less than the best? It's easier? It's not easier. Sometimes it takes more work not to do the best. However, when you understand the principle that you're working under, somebody asked me before, how do we start? I'm telling you how to start. Look for the opportunity to express yourself, to do the best you can, be the best kind of relationship that you can be with other people. Let other people be themselves, and they will let you be yourself. Recognize that when something comes to your attention to do, are you going to say, that's not my job? If it's there, it's your job. If you're aware of it, it's your job. Do it. It would not be there unless your consciousness brought it to you. It's your opportunity to do something above and beyond what you were normally conditioned to do. The reason people become leaders rather than followers, the reason people become successful rather than non-successful or unsuccessful, is because they're doing things that other people aren't doing. And in order for you to experience the best that life has to offer, you must be the expression of that best consciousness. You must look for the opportunity to do the best you can in all situations. In all situations. Are you getting that? Do you understand how really important it is for you to be in a situation and to look for the opportunity to be the expression of the ideal? When you are the expression of the... I don't care if you're answering telephones. The way you answer a telephone, if that's your job, is going to determine your experiences in your life. The enthusiasm, the vigor, the vitality that you express in whatever you're doing is going to be reflected in every single area in your life. If you're going to do something half-assed, it's going to be reflected in the way you look, in the way you feel, in your prosperity, in your abundance or lack of it, in every single situation of your life. You are the power, and you must be the expression of that power. You must reveal yourself. You must be the revelation of what it is you want to experience. Look, the principle is here. If I want to experience a reaction of 4 balls, what do I have to do? I have to set in motion 4 balls. That's the only thing that's going to create the reaction. If you want to experience abundance and prosperity in your life, you must be the expression of abundance and prosperity. Another way to be the expression. When you go into a store, do you only look for something on sale? Or is the price dependent upon whether you're going to buy it or not? Is the $5 or $10 going to make a difference in whether you're going to buy something you really like? When you're doing that, you're coming from a poverty consciousness. You are so creative, you are so incredibly creative, that you are going to create the reality of whatever ideas you are expressing. And if you are expressing that you can't afford the $5 here, or the 10 or 20 bucks here, then you will create other ways for you to experience struggle. One of the things that you can do right now is to go into that store and buy something, dare to buy something because you like it, because it makes you feel good. And so it's going to cost you 10 bucks more, or 20 bucks more, or whatever. Take that risk. And then suddenly there's a shift in consciousness. Suddenly you're doing something for yourself, and your consciousness will replace it many, many fold. Have you ever heard someone say, I never ever have to worry about money. Somehow, some way, I always have enough to get by. Something happens. Anyone ever hear someone say that? Let me see a show of hands. Yeah. Well, you know something? That's the way it works. Always have enough to get by. Never any more, never any less. That's the consciousness. A consciousness of always having enough to get by creates always having enough to get by. It's not an accident that you only have enough to get by. So if you're talking about a principle, you might as well condition yourself to see something else. You might as well have the experience of what it feels like to do something very, very special for yourself, because you are certainly worthy of it. When you go to the supermarket,